All right, Billy Miller Makes a Wish, Chapter 13. The next day was uneventful, which suited Billy just fine. No sirens, no dead people, no bats, no tattoos. Billy and Mama finished putting the basement back in order. When they were done, Mama took Billy and Sal to the public pool for the first time this summer. If Billy were trying to imagine a perfect summer day, this was it. The day was sunny and bright, and the air was hot and clear. The sky was blue and cloudless. Right away at the pool, Billy noticed that the twisty slide had been replaced. The new one was taller, had more twists, and as Billy discovered when he tried it out, was smoother and therefore faster. The wait to go down the slide was long, but it was worth it. There was a moment when Billy left the slide, but he hadn't hit the water yet. He was airborne. That moment was the best, but the sensation of plunging into the cool water was almost as thrilling. Sal didn't want to go on the slide. She wanted to play in the little kids' pool. Mama sat on the side of the pool in a recliner and kept an eye on her. Billy was grateful he didn't have to watch her. Sal was wearing her new tights with her bathing suit. She'd worn the tights to bed the night before, too. Billy thought she looked goofy. He'd pretend she wasn't his sister. Billy ran into some friends from school, Jordan Johnson and Calvin Maloney. They made waiting in line more fun. Billy told them that he had been in the house of a newly dead person. Jordan and Calvin were sufficiently impressed, and standing beneath the slide, inching along, looking up at it, gave Billy quite a feeling of quite astonishment. The slide was truly majestic. It kind of took his breath away. He wondered if anyone else ever felt this way about a water slide. For Mama, it was books and nature that made her especially happy in this way. For Papa, it was tools and gadgets and big metal sculptures in public parks that looked to Billy like a giant had taken rusty beams and tossed them carelessly to the ground. After going down the slide so many times he lost track, Billy was so hungry that he could barely stand it. Surprisingly, Mama let Billy and Sal eat lunch at the pool snack bar, which she usually didn't do because she didn't think they served healthy food. Happily, Billy ordered a macaroni and cheese bowl to which he added 10 squirts of ketchup and 2 squirts of mustard from big jugs on the counter, a bag of potato chips, apple juice, and a root beer popsicle for dessert. Afterward, everyone was a little sleepy, and so they went home. Driving through the neighborhood, they saw Valerie, the mail carrier. Sal lowered her window. "I've got tattoos!" she yelled. "But they're really tights." Valerie smiled and waved, and Billy ducked beneath the window until they had passed by Valerie. Sal was so embarrassing. Seeing Valerie would have reminded Sal about the buggy in the basement. "Can I deliver mail when we get home?" asked Sal. "Can I use the buggy? Can I go around the block?" Yes, Mama answered, "as long as Billy goes with you." "Goody!" said Sal. "Goody," thought Billy, making a horrid face. Luckily, Mama didn't see it. She was keeping her eyes on the road. The buggy was surprisingly light, but it was still awkward dragging it up and down the basement stairs. Somehow Billy managed to get it up the stairs and out the back door by himself. He noticed that the buggy was still stuffed with letters from one of the boxes from the basement. Billy shook his head. He did not want to pretend to deliver mail with his weird little sister who was wearing tights in blazing hot weather. He wondered how long that he had to do things like this, how long big brothers had to suffer because of their little sisters. Billy waited for Sal by the back door. He waited and waited and waited. He doubted that she'd forgotten about delivering the mail, seeing how excited that she'd been about doing it. He went inside and found her in the living room, curled up like a little cat beside Mama on the couch. Both were sleeping. Billy sighed a big, long sigh of relief. For now, at least, she was spared of his brotherly responsibilities. Quietly, he left them alone and went up to his room. As soon as he crossed the threshold, Billy sensed his room darken as if an invisible hand had pulled down the window shade. Then he heard the soft beginning of rainfall on the roof. He went to the window and looked out over the yard. The rain was gentle but steady. In intervals the rain increased, shifted through the yard in sheets. Billy saw the buggy. He ran downstairs and out into the rain. He put the buggy in the garage. After toweling off, Billy went back to his room. He finally had time alone with his markers. Billy lay on the floor beside a pile of paper and his markers arranged in a fan. He barely had to think what to draw. While the rain drummed down, Billy drew the world's tallest water slide, complete with complicated turns, tunnels, and a jump so wide you were airborne for 10 whole seconds, which is a very long time if you actually timed it. And that's chapter 13.